Hello, everybody. My name is Jalbagel, and welcome to this installment of The Bagel Shop. I'm joined by my amazing co-host, the Mr. SkojSkull. Skoj, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I entered the bagel shop today, and you offered feet, and I was very uncomfortable.
Okay. Did I say The Bagel Shop? I meant to say Gamer Breakfast.
You
What
did
did I
say
say?
bagel. You said the bagel shop.
Okay. I woke up like
he just woke
30
up
minutes ago.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
There
Welcome
we
to
go.
Gamer Breakfast. My name's Jalbagel. That's SkojSkull, and we're going to do some podcast stuff together. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, that's right. I didn't have the right energy, so I said the wrong thing. No,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Not me just trying to put my own branding on the podcast, but hi. Hi, Skoj.
Hi, how you doing? Oh my goodness.
I'm tired. How are you?
It's been an eventful 2 weeks.
Oh, really? What has made your 2 weeks so eventful, SkojSkull?
Title update 4. I'm kidding. No. that was the huge thing, but like no, that was I proposed.
Really?
Yeah, I proposed to my girlfriend last weekend.
Not to me. Well, I guess we're a podcast husband. I wasn't podcast fiance.
Stage.
Yeah, exactly.
You
We're
wearing the
married.
ring, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't lose it.
What the fuck?
I have the pin in my backpack. Remember our matching pins from San Diego?
I have mine on my shelf. I didn't pack it yet because I didn't want to lose it.
You didn't put it on anything? Nah,
I don't know what to put it on. But anyways,
you got engaged.
I got engaged. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Proud. I'm so happy for you guys.
A very when I started playing this, it was a very stressful 2 weeks before I actually.
Weird.
Yeah. So it's the week before I didn't stream at all because I was just so stressed. I was just like, hey, I'm working on packing, and everyone's just like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like, no, I was actually just really stressed. I couldn't say anything to anyone but you and Gabby and a few other people. It was just I literally couldn't say anything. I couldn't tweet about it and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go out.
What's happening?
I'm gonna propose to my girlfriend. Don't tell her though.
Yeah. Liz, if you see this, ignore it.
Yeah. So, and I almost broke, broke and just broke the news to her. Just be like, listen, I'm gonna go to Canada. I'm gonna propose to you. Just act surprised.
Surprised.
Yeah. So I told her I was.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, me too. I told her I was gonna go to because I used to do instruct self-defense classes for women's self-defense. And I told her that I haven't done it in a while, and if you don't do it for a certain period of time, you need to re-register. So that was my excuse to go to Boston and re-register. Huh?
That's not an excuse. That is a lie.
It is a lie.
Good job. Off to a great start.
I hate lying. I absolutely hate it. Oh my goodness. Have you heard this story?
About you
No,
I just heard
proposing.
it.
No, well, I mean the whole proposal
No, you haven't
thing.
told me anything. This is the first time we've talked since you got back.
Oh shit. But so I was talking, so I got in contact with her friend that she usually hangs out with in Canada. I actually met her as well when we were there, so I was like, perfect, I can get in contact with her. I had her on Facebook and everything. It was really funny because there was one instance where it was his birthday, and I was telling Liz oh, it's her birthday. You should tell her happy birthday. She's like, what? How do you have her on?
How do you know that?
How do you know that? It's like, oh, I added her on Facebook when we met that one time. So then after that, we organized everything. Whenever I told Liz whenever I was gonna get in call with her friend, I told Liz that I was gonna get in call with my editor. So it was like a lie on top of a lie, and I kept feeling worse and worse.
More lies. You hear that, Liz?
And then Yami helped me find a ring, so I was able to get a ring like that. It was a more simplistic design that she loves simplistic stuff, so I thought perfect. I get this ring.
Less
Love it.
is more. Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's awesome.
I got the ring and then I started flying over there. Actually, before that, when I was booking the flights, I had two tabs open because it was just like I was deciding between two flights for that day. One was arriving at like 2:39, the other one's arriving at like 11:55 p.m. So I thought like, well, I'd rather go for the one that's 2:39, even though it's like more expensive. So I went for that one. But I ordered the wrong flight. I ordered the 11:55 by accident.
Whoops.
So this happened while I was in call with Liz. So I looked frantic trying to like organize everything. She's like, "You okay?" I was like, "Oh, I ordered the wrong hotel." So,
oh no, I ordered the wrong hotel for the wrong days for my trip to totally Boston.
Yeah. So I got that all set up. I got the right flight, and then I was able to get it refunded for the other flight, so that was good.
That's good.
I got there. I got a taxi to go to the location, which was like by the water, which was like her favorite location that she used to be with her mother. So it was. I was waiting there. But what I didn't know, I got a message from a friend saying like, "Oh, hey, we're just gonna go to the bar real quick just to catch up on a few things, and then we'll meet you there." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Great.
So
Great. Perfect.
Liz ordered a whole bottle of sake.
Damn straight she did.
And she's like, she didn't know I was even there, so like she sent me pictures of like her like with the whole bottle of sake. She's like, "I got this." I'm like, "Oh no." I messaged a friend. I'm like, her friend messaged me and she's like, "She ordered a whole bottle of sake," and then I got a picture from Liz. There was a whole bottle. And I messaged her friend, and I was like, "Is she tipsy?" She replied back saying, "Yep."
Hell yeah.
But before, oh my goodness, I keep going ahead of my story. So before I got to the location, I was in the taxi talking to the guy that was talking about why I was going to this location and to propose to my girlfriend. And I showed him the ring and everything, and then when I got out of the taxi, I dropped the ring. The taxi left. And
oh no.
I walked to the location, I sat down, I'm like, I should get out my ring so I could get ready and just have it somewhere so I can easily access it. It was not in my pockets.
Oh, Skoy. What the fuck?
So I ran back to where the taxi dropped me off, and the taxi driver actually drove back. I was trying to wave it to be like, I don't know if it was him or someone else, and he opened up his window and he's like, "You probably need this." I was like, oh, holy shit. Wow.
What a guy. That he could have just fucked off entirely, and like that would have been his, and he could have just stolen that. Yep. What a guy.
Yeah. So
what a guy. I
got the ring back. The guy was really chill. We talked about anime and Marvel the entire
Shout out to
time.
Taxi driver.
Hell yeah. We got to the location, and I was waiting like an hour and a half in the cold because I also forgot my jacket.
Perfect. Good job.
Great.
You planned everything so well.
I did.
You did great, kid.
Liz came over with her friend, and her friend was just like, "Hey, Phil," and Liz was looking at me in disbelief, and she was just like, "How drunk am I?"
That's funny.
Because like when I walked up,
God, I'm so drunk. I can see Phil right now.
This guy looks really like Phil. Because so when I walked up towards her, she took a step back and was looking really confused. I was like, "No, what did I do?"
Where are you going? No.
But she then like finally like gathered together that it was me and that I lied to her about the whole instructor program thing. And I then like told her a few words, and I went on one knee and proposed. And then I treated her to dinner to one of our favorite places.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And she said yes, right?
No, she said no. But we thought we'd go to dinner anyways. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah. At least you guys are still friends. That's the part you always leave out. Is like the she said yes part.
Oh yeah, like I went to your stream.
That's an important part.
I went to your stream and you're like, "Wait, she said yes, right?"
Yeah, because like you got there and you're like, "I proposed." I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool, dude. Did she say yes?"
I was like, "No, she said no."
my friend got engaged over the weekend too, and I said the exact same thing. She sent me a picture of the ring. I'm like, "Oh, that's a sick ring. You said no, right?" You kept it.
So yeah, I said no.
No, but that's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you. This is a huge step. We also got accepted for our lease for the apartment we're renting. So
let's go.
A lot of things are happening right now.
A lot of things are happening. Yeah. No, things are good, right? No, I think the way you did it, phenomenal. Good job. Congratulations. You did it. You did great, kid.
Thank you. Yeah.
If I'm not your best man, I'll cry.
Wait.
Said it. It's right here, recorded on the internet. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, but yeah, it's been a crazy past few weeks, and we're just like we're both anxious and excited at the same time about the move, and just hoping everything goes smoothly. So yeah, like this place is actually like. Yeah, this place is actually like 15 minutes away from my house, so it's like I could just easily drive all my stuff there and just go back and forth from work.
Yeah, so it'll be nice to have like your family close too while you guys, get adjusted to living together, and then like also on your own again and stuff like that. It's nice to have family around for that stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, cool.
This is actually my first time. For you. Thank you. This is actually my first time moving into my own place.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's a big jump.
It's awesome. Living on your own, amazing.
I can imagine.
Love being by myself all the time.
With Bo causing chaos, ruining your speed runs.
He is a sleepy little dude in the corner.
He's sleeping. Now he sleeps. During your speed run? Nah, attention, please.
Awake. Yep.
I wonder if the reason, because you said that he usually comes around when like Xeno is happening.
Yeah, it's because it's late at night and he wants to go to bed.
Oh, I thought it was because he can feel like your energy of just like going through that final fight.
Like energy.
Well, I don't know how to explain it.
In the room.
Like dogs like feel something whenever you get close to a location, and you like the person gets excited and they're like, "Oh, wait, what's happening?" I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. He's an asshole. I love him.
He probably is just like, it's Xeno%. It's Xeno. All right, time to ruin his day.
He does this really cool thing now in the mornings where he tries to get inside my closet, and my closet is like two sliding like mirror doors.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a bottom track. It's just hanging. So whenever he's trying to get inside it, it's the loudest thing in the absolute world. So I threw a pillow at him this morning to get him to stop, and it only encouraged him. Yeah. And then I had to get up and get the pillow because that was the pillow I was using.
Oh.
So joke's on me. I got up.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
That's why I was so tired, because I was at 6 a.m. this morning. Oh
geez. Yeah, Liz and I are so excited about cats. Like I've been looking nonstop through clips on TikTok and what? Wait, see
nine cats? No, 9 of them. So many cats.
Absolutely not.
You're fine.
We're definitely gonna get a cat though. It's gonna be exciting. I don't know about 2. I never had a cat before.
You've had a dog. Cats are like a quarter of the work.
Really?
Clean their box, feed them food, pet them every now and then, and make sure they aren't trying to chew wires off your computer. That's it.
Or kill each other.
A cat. Oh.
But yeah, so that's been my 2 weeks so far. It's just been proposal. We also went to see the new Puss in Boots movie, which was really fun. Yeah, because there were so many things I wanted to say. She was like, "Oh, I really wanted to see Puss in Boots." Like, there was so many times I was going to be like, "I can just watch it when I'm over." I mean, that's it.
Can't say that.
Yeah. Oh man, and I kept saying like, we're gonna see each other soon. Anything? She's like, "Yeah, the move." I'm like, yeah,
the move.
It's totally not me coming over.
Totally not me on a plane right now.
Yeah. So like whenever I was in a quote unquote instructing class, I was on a flight. So I took message her like, "Hey, I'm gonna take the instructing class. It's about like 5.5 hours. I'll message you back later."
You think she was at any point she was sitting there like, weird, 5.5 hours to the instructor class? That's about as long as the flight from here to here.
She was also like, he didn't take his B-reel today. Why didn't he take his B-roll? Because like at the time I was like at the location. I was like, I can't take a B-roll right now. That'd be really funny. Just take the B-roll and she'd be like, wait a minute. Why is he there? Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. those my 2 weeks, and now we got even more exciting stuff. We got Title Update 4 coming out. Tomorrow? Today on for podcast?
Today when the podcast release, yeah, because it comes out February 7th, which if it's consistent with how Capcom has released previous things, that'll be UTC 0000, so that'll be 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. UTC 0000 to EST. Yep, 7 p.m. Yep, so it'll be 7 p.m. tomorrow. That we'll have a new title update.
There we go.
With all new, fun, great things.
Whoa! That's gonna be. That's what we're gonna cover today, actually, with the whole title update 4 and like our reactions to it, and yeah.
So Skoy, what was the big reveal?
Risen Valstrax. Because we already knew that Velcana was kind of coming in.
We kind of guessed both of them, right?
Did we? Well, like, I mean, it was in the order.
I assumed Risen Valstrax was going to be the Risen monster.
Because if they were going in the order that they added the Elders for the Risen Elders, then it was pretty easy to predict, like, oh, they're probably going to add Risen Valstrax, and the sneak peek image that they had for Title Update 4, they had Velcana.
It was just Velcana. It was just a picture of Velcana, slightly blurred out, and the. We're going to talk about that a little bit more, but so Velcana, super cool. Risen Valstrax, super obnoxious. Both of those monsters will have armor sets, so we're kind of expecting to see Frostcraft again on the Velcana armor.
What does that do?
Some people were saying like, huh?
What does Frostcraft do again? Because I forget.
So Frostcraft is like an additional like ability bar that you get.
Okay.
Every time you swing your weapon, it uses a part of the bar. Frostcraft has 3 stages, 1, 2, and 3, and at max it's at 3, and then it goes down. But it uses part of the bar to give you like additional damage, and the bar will gradually recover while the weapon is out. But when you sheath it, it comes back a lot faster.
Ooh.
So like weapons like greatsword, longsword, things that sheath in their combos. Love this. Even Bo in World and Iceborne likes Frostcraft. Like you can actually do Frostcraft Bow, which was really cool. There was even a Frostcraft switch axe build for fighting Fatalis. That was ZSD spam. That was pretty cool. But Frostcraft, it uses the gauge to give you additional damage. The higher the level, the more damage you get. When it's completely depleted, you don't get like the damage bonus anymore. And when you sheath your weapon, the bar regenerates a lot faster. And like even for like things like longsword, like when you're in special sheath animation, like waiting for a special sheath counter, that's counted in the sheath. Like that's counted as a sheathed weapon, and so Frostcraft will regenerate. And then like even think like greatsword, one of the wirebug moves is literally sheathing and like the wirebug like power up. I don't remember the name of the attack, but like you literally sheath it right there. You have a way to sheath your weapon very quickly. That greatsword already does. So like seeing Frostcraft come back is really exciting for me because I like TCS play, and I like sheath, hit and run, or hit, sheath and run kind of tactics with greatsword. So Frostcraft is going to be a welcomed inclusion for me. And then also we're going to get Velcana's weapons in the game too, which will be another nice ice option.
Oh yeah,
which I'm very excited about.
Like Velcana's like the designs and everything just for the armor and stuff look gorgeous. Like
beautiful.
It's very royal, a very royal look.
Yeah. Very, very royal, very elegant, very icy, very spiky. It looks like if you fall over in that, though, it'd be really uncomfortable.
If you fall over, you die. You just like
spikes everywhere.
Just spikes everywhere. It's like the most dangerous place, the dangerous armor to go into a ballroom with.
Yeah. And then Risen Valstrax will come with new armor, just like Risen Camelios, Risen Teostra, and Risen Kushala did. So we will get a Risen Valstrax armor, which will also include, a Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax.
The name is ridiculous. Good lord. Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax.
RCGV. We're going to get ourselves an RCGV. Rikov. But it's going to have a unique armor skill on it as well, like Chameleos did and Teostra did and Kushala did.
There you go.
So like expect to see Valstrax's blessing, right? All the other ones had their blessings. I don't know if a Valstrax's blessing already exists, but that might be a new inclusion here. And then
I have to look into that.
I'm certain this set will have Dragonheart on it, and then another new ability, right? Because all the other armor sets, all the other armor sets like usually had the main ability that was on the original set, and then a new ability too. So that's gonna be really cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. To see what the Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax armor brings. What I want to see mostly in like armor and equipment coming to the game though is not power creep but options, right? In World, all we had was power creep. Every single time that something got released, it was now we use that. Rise has been a little bit different, which I am thankful for, because we do see some options right now, like based on comfort and familiarity, because like a lot of our DPS options right now are also life sappers, so it's a little bit harder to like run with them,
like the guys with warm armor.
But I am much more excited to see options come into the late game, options come into the end game, like different same result but different armors and armor sets, so you can reach like a similar damage or a similar style or a unique style that's competitive with the current best in slot, right?
Especially with the curio
that's what I want to
crafting.
see. And I think Curious allows for a lot more of that. The Curious crafting allows for a lot more of that. I'm not a big fan of the Curious crafting just because of how much of a slog it actually is, but I would like I want to try to get back in. I'm actually to try today, being the day that we're recording, to play a little bit of Rise.
I do too.
I'm gonna try and get caught up before Monday, because I would like to stream this on Monday, and do a little bit of Rise on Monday. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, like
but
it's right. Yeah, it definitely have to move for me. Like once that move finally happens, and I have more time in my hands, and I want to like actually grind Rise, because right now I don't have time to really dive deep into it and like really figure out how Curious crafting works. How
it's daunting too.
It's
right.
A lot.
There's so much to the game, and every title update that gets added, they're changing mechanics. Because that was the nice thing about World, is that things more or less stayed the same. They were just adding content. In Rise, they keep changing things. They keep changing how they changed how charm farming works. There's new tiers to charm farming. They operate a little bit differently. It's a lot more consistent now. They've actually fixed a lot of the roles on it, so you can get like 5 level 2 skills on a charm pretty easily now. Like I've seen many times like attack boost 3, switch charge 2, like often. I was like, oh crap, that's pretty cool. They often are changing how Curious augmenting itself works, because like originally it was just like a lottery. Now there's like 2 other options, which are defense focused and skills focused. And so now there's differences in the Curious armor crafting. They're adding additional slots to the weapon crafting and changing how the weapon slots work, because which something that was revealed in the trailer, which we can talk about too, with there's a new anomaly level now. We're going to get a anomaly 8-star, which includes afflicted chaotic Gormagala and afflicted risen elder dragons.
Gee, risen.
Yikes.
Afflicted risen. I was like,
afflicted versions of previously introduced risen elder dragons will start appearing in anomaly 11, anomaly level 111 and above. Holy.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Wow. All right. Like, imagine anomaly risen Crimson Glow Valstrax.
I don't want to fight it. There's no reason. But with this new tier, they're showing there's another level to the weapon slot upgrade. And now it looks like the weapon slot upgrade, the slot upgrade itself, just unlocking that is giving inherent stat increases to the weapons.
Wow.
Which is insane. Like they were just showing just unlocking the next level was giving a weapon plus 10 raw, plus 20 element, and like plus 10 defense or something like that. Like it was wild. Or no, plus 10 sharpness, plus 10 hits to sharpness, which is insane. That's wild.
Absolutely insane.
I want to become a superhuman in this game again. So I might start playing it again and getting back into like the fight and the grind. I find it so hard to organize myself in this game. But we can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's even been some people on Twitter that I've seen that they're just like, I'm just gonna wait until the updates are done because they're changing like a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I don't blame them. Like, I've considered that as well, but I feel like
we're actually doing the same thing for the leaderboard. We're not making any like hard or fast rules on like armor, like curious armor restrictions or anything, because it keeps changing every update. We will like make a set of rules for it, and then an update comes out, and then the rules change again, and then we'll do it again, and the rules change again. We'll do it again, and the rules change again. I finally said, guys, just wait till it's done, and then make the rules. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But like,
$1 million idea.
Because we want to like be able to let people like speedrun and like do stuff right now, but with freestyle speedrunning, with IL speedrunning, individual levels, it's so hard to regulate because we just don't know how everything operates, right? We don't know what's cheating. Yeah, we don't know what's cheating. We don't know what's legitimate. We don't know what's reasonable, right? Like what can keep people in the same competitive field, because that's the biggest goal, is like, how can we design rules to keep everyone in the same competitive field? And we just can't do it if every update something comes out and it changes again.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think for me right now, like getting it back into it probably around this time, because the next one won't happen until like April.
Yeah. Yep. So 2 months.
That'll be the last update or
last question mark. So I was going to talk about that at the end, but it is expected to be the last one. I don't remember if Capcom said there was only going to be 5 title updates, but people are expecting this to be the last title update. Which we can talk about that a little bit more at the end, because I had like a follow up to that later.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's that. We also have the new Palamute layered.
We get a free, so you guys still have the chance to do it today while we're talking about this. When this podcast releases,
it'll be done.
Will it?
Yeah, the 5th is the last day, I think.
The 6th is the last day, which is the day that the podcast releases. And by the time the podcast releases, it will be an hour too late. So if you're listening to this, you didn't get it.
It was really easy to set up and get.
It's super simple, super easy. And by the time we're telling you this, you can't even act on it. But there's a Velkhana costume for the Palamute. It's just a mini Velkhana.
It's just a mini Velkhana. It reminds me of the Fatalis one from Iceborne with the Palico. I was like, yeah, this is so cool.
That's awesome. No, it looks very, very cool. And it's to kind of promote Capcom's new social media-esque news site, which is the Capcom ID.
Yeah.
So you can register for a Capcom ID. I'm certain there will be more giveaways in the future. So if you didn't do it yet and you missed out on this, go do it now so you don't miss out on the next one. Because just being signed up with your Capcom ID, and then you just fill out the entry form, which is literally 3 clicks, you get it.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, I was supposed to check to see if I got it already. Jono was saying that they were already being distributed.
Oh shit! Really? Yeah. It'd probably be either in your email or on your Steam. Depending where you connected it.
It goes directly. Yeah, they say they're going to send you an email. But I connected my Steam too, so hopefully it just goes straight there. That'd be nice. I should check that later.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, and I assume that they're going to do this for other games too. So like, if you like other Capcom games, like Resident Evil 4, like they might have a special cosmetic. Right, Resident Evil 4 was the one with Ashley, right? So they might have like a cosmetic skin for Ashley.
Probably, maybe, I don't know.
And then Street Fighter's coming out, so there might be some cosmetic stuff for Street Fighter that you can do. That'd be really neat.
Because that's Capcom.
It's just a good way to because that's Capcom. Yep.
Gosh, Capcom has really good IPs.
Capcom does. Capcom has a lot of really good IPs that have just never been Western advertised, and now we're finally seeing a lot of that. Yeah, and we're getting to be included.
It's really
let's talk about more free stuff. More event quests.
Armors. Frontier armors. A lot more frontier armors. It's really cool.
we're getting 2 new event quests that are both dual threat quests. One is a Seething Basil Geese and a Chaotic Gormagala, which I'm pretty sure we already have these. These were already added to the game.
Yeah.
So Seething Basil and Chaotic Gore, that's one quest. And then in another one, it's a Furious Rajang and a Scorned Magnamallow.
Oh.
Do you hate yourself? Have fun.
There's a quest of 2 Lunagarin, isn't there?
Not that was added with this update, not the most recent one. I'm sure there's 2 Lunagarin too, but it's not these ones. But these events come with 2 armor sets that you can craft from them. They are I know one of them is based on Frontier. I think the other one is too, but I'm not entirely certain.
They both are, yeah.
But they look awesome. I think they look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Be nice to add to the layered accoutrement.
No, I'm really excited for that, and it's so cool how they're bringing like more Frontier stuff into the light and just being like, people want to see this, and it makes it more exciting too, because like we might see more Frontier monsters, and maybe even with Monster Hunter 6 they might bring even more, so we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be nice, because
I feel like that'd be perfect to introduce new monsters and even Frontier monsters when it comes to like the new Monster Hunter game after this one.
Absolutely. I mean, because that's the thing too, is that they have this ability to release old monsters and people will treat them as new monsters because the number of new players to the franchise from Monster Hunter World and Rise alone is greater than their previous player base.
Absolutely.
You know, so like they can bring in things like Logia Cruz, Nibble Snarf, Zam Trios, Gobel, you know, they can bring in all of these things, Plesioth, they can bring in all of these things that are old to the game that even, you know, veteran experienced players, long-term players who have played those games before and played against those monsters will appreciate in a new updated system, and new players will be like, oh, new monster, cool, you know, because it doesn't, and then even on top of that, do Frontier. There is not many people in the West that played Frontier, and so it would be a smash hit to introduce some crazy things like new monsters. I will say this too:
a Monster MMO.
Please, they could do it, and you can make it work, and they choose not to. I will say this though: a large part of the player base wants a new weapon or new weapons, and if the next game doesn't feature new weapons, I think people are going to be incredibly disappointed.
Probably, and I think it'd be really cool to see Prowler come back. I would love to see Prowler come back.
Please give us Prowler. Let us be a dog or a cat.
Yeah,
please. That would be so good. That'd be so cool. I would absolutely love that. Prowler mode was so much fun in Generations, and then got completely stripped in Gen U, and it was an absolute blast. Loved it.
It was so much fun. I didn't enjoy it in the beginning because I was doing like I was like, I had no choice but to use it, but it was weird. I didn't get the chance to like really dive into it, get used to it, but it was a lot of fun once I really got into it. Oh my goodness. So if we get it back, that'd be really adorable. I would love to see just like one of my teammates as a cat just running towards me like, I'm coming. I want to see speed runs with Prowler mode. You know how sick that'd be? That'd be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
That'd be super cool. I've even considered going back and learning the Generation speed run, not Gen U, not on the Switch, but the Generation speed run on the 3DS. I've considered going back and learning that so I could do Prowler speed runs.
That would be amazing.
Considered it. I'm not doing it.
Donor goal. Next donor goal. Let's go.
No.
Now he's considering it. Look at him. You see his face? He's thinking about it. Maybe. But and then
with this title update too, we're getting more purchasable DLC. Buyable stuff, more microtransaction stuff. We're getting more cosmetics like
hairstyles,
layered armors,
makeup,
gestures, poses, background music, hairstyles, more things to spice up your hunting life, as Capcom has put it so eloquently. And the big ticket item are the Lance Gun, Rand Page, Pup R, and Kit T layered armors for your Hunter, Palico, and Palamute.
Want it. I want it.
They look so goofy. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's a little kind of mini 2D graphic series that happens on social medias and kind of in the game too, where Minato is drawing hunting guides, and she draws these caricatures of these cartoons that are named Lance Gunn and Rand Page and their buddies Pup R and Kit T, and they're these like super like caricatured cartoons. They're cartoons. They turned those into layered armors. They're 2D characters that were turned into 3D layered models, and they look like Gumby. They look so. I think part of their charm is just how weird and grotesque they actually look.
They really are. Dude, have you seen the Palamute? Like, if you look
it's goofy looking.
If you look at the picture where what was it? Lance Gunn. Lance Gunn. If you see him looking at the Palamute, he's like looking at where the head should be, but like the head is so like the Palamute is so
much
big.
larger. They are so awkward looking. So this was kind of like a highlight, right? Like how the last title update was like the stuffed animal weapons, which are really, really cool. This is now like the big DLC ticket item, which is. This is so funny to me. I saw this and I was like, there's no shot they turn these into layers, and sure enough they did. And they look it works. They look goofy as all hell.
Absolutely. I hope they keep up this goof and charm for the next Monster Hunter, and
I think they need to, right? Because I think that's the good balance that they need to hit on. Yeah, because like World was like incredibly serious. We didn't have like a lot of like joke layers, and the ones that we did were like jokes in universe, right? Like think about the Wiggler head. The Wiggler head was like stitched together and had like buttons for eyes. It was a joke in universe. The same thing with like the faux Kelby mask and the Mosswine mask, stuff like that.
Yeah,
those are our jokes there. The jokes in Rise have just been. Just put what we're thinking into the game and don't make it fit in the universe. It doesn't matter. This is funny.
Fucking weird. Like
it's great.
That'd be so funny to like, because in World we also got a few other things. It was like we got beer dual blades, we got fish dual blades, which flop around and slosh around.
Fish we did get fish dual blades.
Yeah. Because like when you use them, they flop around, and you can tell that the modders had a lot of fun with that later on.
Wait a minute, Skoy, are you trying to tell me people do lewd things with mods to our video games that we enjoy wholesomely?
Oh,
okay, good. I just want to make sure. Because Capcom's listening.
Yay!
Hi, Ryozo. We know you listen.
Ryozo.
Love you. Love your game.
And then we also got... Was that it? Because we got Velkhana. I want to talk about Velkhana.
Yes, let's talk about Velkhana. Let's talk about the incredibly predictable, definitely foreseen release of Velkhana.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about Velkhana?
Oh, well, I felt like I'm excited for it because it'd be interesting to fight Velkhana in the Rise kind of aspect. I kind of like felt like it was coming because the way that Malzena was attacking, I was like, the model for Malzena, I was like, probably gonna see Velkhana.
There's a lot of Velkhana in this monster.
Yeah, so I thought about it, and then once we saw the preview image, I'm like, yeah, everyone's gonna predict Velkhana. And sure enough, they did. But I felt like it was a little too soon. I mean, to be fair, and Anjanath got put into the game right after World, and so did Tomodachi. So I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of monsters in this game that were like brought in kind of too soon, but it's kind of like weird to say because they've done that for like other monster releases too, where Brachydios got put into game. He's in the next game now. So
yeah, I mean they tend to do that. I think when we look at it now, the longevity of the games are a lot shorter now. Previous Monster Hunter games, we had like 5 years, 6 years between them. Monster Hunter games now, we're seeing like they come out, they're out for a year, we get a DLC, they're out for a year, and then we have another year after that. I think that's going to be kind of like the release windows. Every 3 years we're going to have an announcement. But like I understand the sentiment, and there are a lot of World and Iceborne monsters in Rise, like a lot of them. And I think that just plays into the sentiment of like how they built the game and how easily it was to integrate these monsters that they built in World into Rise, and probably a product of the games are developed at the same time.
Yeah.
So at the time, it probably seemed like a really good idea. Like, hey, bring in these new monsters also into Rise.
Yeah.
You know, it probably at the time made sense for them, but it was definitely, you know, it's definitely I think it's a fair kind of criticism to have, especially because we have things like Gormagala and Chaotic Gormagala. We have Espinas. They know that previous games exist.
Yeah.
They figured it out. Like they opened up the catalog of Capcom games, looked down the list past 2008. They figured it out. So we know that like other games exist, and that we can you know, pull in inspiration from those games and make it work in these ones. And I want to see more of that too, personally. But I'm happy. I'm trying to find the tweet because I thought I liked it. Because somebody put it really, really well. Predictable but excited.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel that, right? Like, and it didn't help that Capcom like teased it with the Iceborne question mark, teased it with the silhouette. Like literally a question mark and a silhouette is what told us that this was Velkhana.
Yeah, because like the question mark was like the world question or the Iceborne question mark. It was the same design and everything, and the Velkhana like silhouette was like the same image as one of their.
It was the same pose from World.
Yeah.
It was the exact same pose from World, and so like just with the Iceborne render. And that's fine. If their intent was to like hint at it strong enough that we would get excited about it and predict it, sure. But you need something else to blindside us, and Risen Valstrax wasn't that. You know, we didn't have this like additional thing be added that took us you know, by surprise, right?
Like imagine if Nergy came in. Like that would be pretty cool.
I think that would have. I think a lot of people would have really appreciated that because like a lot of the criticisms I've seen is like, how can you have Velkhana without Nergigante kind of thing, and I think that's just kind of like a meat and potatoes, not like they can't exist exclusively in video games, but just like they feel better together.
Yeah.
So like I get that, and that would have been a very cool reveal. And looking at the roadmap. The first title update was Basil and Lucent Nargacuga, Seething Basil, Lucent Nargacuga, and Goldian and Silverlos. 4 monsters. Yeah. Goldian and Silverlos were not talked about before the update. It was very, very cool to see that. Then we had Risen Chameleos and Flaming Espinas, and then one of those, and the Gasoline Mizuzune, but one of those wasn't talked about before the update. I just can't remember which one it wasn't. It might have been Chameleos.
I think it was Mizuzune, actually.
Was okay, yeah. So like, but one of those wasn't talked about.
Oh no, it was Risen Chameleos.
It was, because they hadn't talked about the Risen mechanic yet. So like, that was cool because we weren't expecting the Risen mechanic. But then after that. Title update 3, we knew about Teo, Kushala, and Chaotic right out the gate. So seeing the trailer was just, oh yeah, okay, we knew about these things already. Yeah, now we get to see them in the game. And then the same thing here, we knew about Velkhana, and we guessed Crimson Glow, Risen Crimson Glow. So it was just kind of once again predictable, and not having that like blindside element, I think, kind of removes people's excitement to try these things.
Yeah.
Like I know it does for me, because the entirety of World, I was blindsided by every title update that came out. I was like, "There's no way they're adding Brachitios." They added Raging. I was like, "Oh, okay." There's no way they're gonna add Elatrian to this game. Oh. The number of times that I said like they won't do that, and then they did with World is hilarious.
It was so good. It was like crazy. Extreme
left field. They didn't. This is the problem: is that with World. Capcom discovered that social media existed. Capcom was like, holy shit, there's this thing called Twitter and Instagram where we can post like things to and people will react to them. They figured that out in Iceborne because before that, all they were doing was just posting to YouTube the day before or like the day of, right? They were like going onto Twitter, hey guys, trailer comes out tomorrow. And we're like, all right, cool, thanks, man. And then we would see it the next day. Now they figured out social media exists so they can leak it weeks in advance or announce it weeks in advance, and then we
hype it up, yeah,
tear it apart and then figure out that it's going to be Velkhana. But like Extremeth, completely blindsided by that. The Witcher event, completely blindsided by that, right? They didn't announce the announcement, they just announced it. And I wish they would stop announcing the announcement. Just stop doing that. Put a fucking question mark there. Let us extrapolate ourselves. Don't give us any hints, clues, nothing.
Yeah.
The fucking, even the succulent in one of the pictures for Sunbreak's release teased Espinus. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah, I'm not really,
because Espinus's scales are very much the same as a succulent's. It's like that's kind of like the inspiration behind Espinus. And in one of the Sunbreak like teaser pictures, like the cartoon caricatures that they do, there was one there, and everyone's like, Espinus. And I was like, please stop. Please, I want to be excited by something. I want to be blindsided for once.
That's something that like one of my gripes with like I guess Monster Hunter with how they advertise things is especially even like when we're about to get the release of a game, they announce like every single monster that's coming into the game, aside from the last one.
Yeah. No, and what's even worse is that Rise, every monster was announced. Sunbreak, all but one monster was announced.
Yep.
And it was really funny too, because like even Super Rad was saying it. He was like, I'm happy I got to play a review copy of the game before all of the announcements, because seeing things like Gormagala come back in was exciting to me, because I didn't know that they were coming. But for everyone else, we just got trailers of every monster that was going to be in the game. Don't Capcom, don't do that. Just don't,
like, of course they can showcase like a few of them, like maybe like one or two.
Show us a few.
Just be
not
like
all.
Like they can showcase like the hypest monsters that they know, because they know that Gore is like super duper hyped or something like that.
Show us Astalos.
Show us Astalos. Like
show us cool returning monsters, not all of the monsters. God damn.
Oh my goodness. It was pretty crazy. And then like now with the hinting and everything, where it's a fun game of guess who, but when you literally like showcase who before the guessing.
I mean, yeah. Like, cause like all right, so and to kind of talk about this a little bit too, you, Skoj, and Nigiri21 Sushi joined Joe Bustos. Is that how you say his last name?
Bustos? Toast something on Twitter. I feel terrible now. Don't put me on the spot, Joe.
You guys joined Joe.
Yes.
On the pre-show for the trailer on Monster Hunter's Twitch and YouTube.
That was awesome.
You guys pre-recorded a little episode of you guys talking about the title update, and that was really cool. The fact that both of you were just like Velkhana and Risen Valstrax destroyed the entire reveal.
Wait, did what?
Because like Nigiri was talking about like how like a lot of her community was thinking that it was going to be Velkhana, and you supported that, and then she also made a mention that we'll probably get Risen Valstrax during the interview. There it is. Those are the two monsters, and then that was the whole trailer. They shot themselves in the foot making it predictable, and then inviting two creators on and asking their opinion on what they think it's going to be, to just be 100% correct before the announcement. So like,
oh my gosh,
that's not good.
That we can easily just predict that and talk about it. Being
that predictable is not good in your pre-show. Oh my god, because like that happened, I was like but like, if that's what they want to do, man, if that's their goal, great. I think it kind of ruins it in the long run, but you know, c'est la vie. So to not continue beating the dead Kieran, because I mean, we could probably just rant about this for hours. We are getting a title update 5.
Yes,
we talked about this briefly before. We are getting a title update 5,
and nothing's shown yet.
It is coming out in April. No. 2 things are shown.
What?
Two things are shown. We're getting a returning Elder Dragon.
Yes.
And we are getting powered up monsters.
Yeah.
It says powered up monster singular. So probably another Risen.
Shigaru, probably.
If I had to guess. Probably Shigaru.
Yes.
Risen Shigaru Magala would be pretty cool.
Terrifying.
Huh?
Terrifying.
Yeah. But I think we're at a really good spot here of like, who the hell's that Elder Dragon gonna be?
Yeah.
That's a really big question mark because we got Velkhana. It's not gonna be Nergi.
No.
If they were gonna do Nergi, they'd do both of them at the same time. That would be smart. If they do Nergigante now, it's gonna seem lazy.
I think we'll probably get a Frontier Elder. That's what I'm guessing.
A Frontier Elder?
I think a Frontier Elder.
I think Amatsu. And I have thought Amatsu since the day seen Narwa and Ibushi. Amatsu deserves to be in this game like nobody's business.
Absolutely.
Amatsu,
they even talked about him.
Did they?
In the game, yeah. There was like some dialogue talking about Amatsu and like talking about like the high winds and whatever. It's like they really
Never
talked
read
about
the game before. Never read those things.
Never read the game.
Amatsu would be super cool because I remember a couple things about its fight from For You, Jen. So one of those.
It's not For You. It was in Jen.
I'm googling it.
But yeah, that'd be really cool actually. I think that's okay. I think I'm gonna change my mind on that. I think definitely Amatsu will be probably for the next update. So be an Amatsu and probably Riz and Shigaru. And maybe a surprise. Who knows? Like maybe something will happen, but yeah, probably Shigaru and.
Okay, yeah, portable third, Gen and Gen Ultimate.
Okay,
So I fought it in Generations, then I fought the high rank version.
Yes.
Amatsu, super cool monster. He's got a really fun Japanese name, which is Amatsu Magatsuchi.
Uh-oh.
Amatsu. Got a really long name though, but the monster is very much like Narwa and Ibushi. It's this kind of like long serpent-like creature that floats in the air.
Yep.
Matsu is called the Storm Dragon, and it uses water and Dragon Blight. I think it's super cool monster and perfect for Rise because of how much it likes to float. It's always in the air. And so I remember playing through Gen using Insect Glaive exclusively through the entire game just to fight this asshole.
Yep.
Because he's always in the air. And it makes it such a cool and like such a fun fight for Rides. That would be so much fun. No, that would be a blast. So Amatsu's high up on my list.
And Amatsu's also in Frontier as well, so it'd be really cool to see if they take some
inspiration from
that, like they did with Lucent, because Lucent took some inspiration from Frontier, which is really cool to see.
Some others that I've seen kind of extrapolated or like potentials, Yamatsukami, which is the big balloon octopus thing. I've seen a lot of people it was in the second Monster Hunter 2.
Oh yeah.
MH Dose, yeah. Yeah, it was in Monster Hunter 2 and Portable Second, also known as Freedom Unite. But it's a big floating. It's called the Floating Mountain Dragon, whatever that means.
Yeah,
but it's a big floating octopus thing.
Crazy.
Would also be really good with wire bugs in mind. Like things that fly are now fun with wire bugs and with the aerialness of the video game. You know, every weapon has the ability to get in the air right now, and it's super cool.
Oh yeah.
What else do we got in here? I mean, we could see a black dragon. I don't know if they would say Elder Dragon if they wanted to bring in a black dragon, but it's possible that they would just say Elder Dragon for a black dragon. So it could be another Elatrian or another Fatalis. I would prefer they did neither of those.
What do you want to see?
Dalmater.
Same.
I do.
Same.
I wanted to see
that
Dalmater
or Mazios.
or Gog. Gog, an updated Gog fight would be absolutely required. But Gogmazios was a cool fight because he did kind of like fight back with you. it was an actual fight, not just like a siege fight. Like you had to go and interact with the monster, not just like fight it from afar. And Gogmazios isn't. Gogmazios had like a lot of like cool things, right? Like you could break the Dragon Eater out of his back and then shoot him with it. And the arena design for the Gog fight was just so good, so good. So like, yeah, Gogmazios would be pretty neat. I still think Dalmadur needs to be in the game. A non-scripted Dalmadur fight
would be amazing.
With wire bugs and verticality, because like that was like the most obnoxious thing in 4U was trying to fight Dalmadur, and you had to always climb up everything. Climbing, you climbed everywhere. There was no way to like get around anywhere fast, and so the fight took forever. And plus, there were health gates and like scripts to the fight, so like it was an entirely scripted fight.
Yeah, there definitely was, but I enjoyed the fight personally. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It's fun,
and I'm about to get into it soon because we're in HR7 right now in 4U. So we're fighting those elders, and we're gonna fight Dala. Yeah.
Some other more possible things, Kieran. Though I would prefer not to see it. But Kieran is a very simple elder dragon to add to games, and if they did it, that's what I was gonna say. I'd much rather see Orochi versus anything else. I mean, unless they bring back another world elder dragon, which at this point would be Nami or Valhazak, which I don't see them doing Valhazak, but I absolutely do see them bringing back Namiel. I could absolutely see fighting Namiel in the rainforest area. I forgot the name of the place. Yeah, I could see fighting Namiel in the game. I could absolutely see that. Oh gosh, I scrolled down a little bit more, and it says Frontier Generation Elder Dragons, and I am looking at things. I'm looking at a lot of things that look like Kushala.
Yeah, there is a lot actually. Yeah, that kind of looks similar to Kushala, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're looking forward to and that we're excited for, and I feel like that we have to keep in mind as well that Sunbreak is not in like an official release. Does that make sense? Like
no, it is.
Like part of the line of Monster Hunter games.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah,
it's still that same divide. It's not Frontier. It's not MHO.
No,
it's a main series game still, but it's still that divide of mobile team versus main team, right? It's still that divide. I want them to get rid of that divide, but it's still a main, like the mobile games have always been main series. Yeah. Well, and they do. Like a lot of those teams share a lot of the same people. It's usually the director that's different, right? Ryozo was the director for Monster Hunter World, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to look it up really quick for the director of Monster Hunter Rise, because I think I remember it, but I don't want to get it wrong. Is Ichinose.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yasunori Ichinose. So like, but Ryozo is on it as a producer, right? So like, it's not that these people it's not that there are two entirely novel teams, like two entirely distinct teams. And there's no overlap. There's a shit ton of overlap.
There's a lot of overlap. That's why
even for World, even for Monster Hunter World, they brought in people from the Resident Evil teams to make the game work better on PC.
Oh wow!
Right, because there are very few teams that are making these high fidelity games at Capcom that are running on PC, and so they needed to bring in other teammates from other IPs within Capcom to make sure that they could work on them, that they could work. So there's overlap in these teams, right? They're not entirely distinct, separate entities. They're they still interact and intermingle with each other a lot. And we saw that too. I mean, they even talked about it. They said that they delayed the release of Rise based on the success of World, and they redesigned Rise to be more like World because of how successful World was.
Yeah.
The game Rise was originally developed to be on the 3DS with transition zones. And then when they saw how well World did, they're like, we can't do that. And the Switch is coming out. But Rise's development started on the 3DS, which is insane to me.
That's why I would love to see footage of them working on like the original 3DS like model for Monster Hunter Rise. I think that'd be really cool to see.
But like, think about that. That means Rise, the Rise and World started development at the same time. Rise was in development before the Switch was even announced.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And then developer kits for the Switch came out, and then they rebuilt the game on the Switch, saw how well World did, rebuilt the entire game on the Switch. Like, that's crazy to me, how much they've put into this game. And I mean, and release window wise, still worked perfectly.
It worked great.
They did what they needed to do, but those games started development at the exact same time, which is wild.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Skoy, you're interrupting the podcast.
I'm sorry.
No, I think we could beat, like I said, beat a dead Kieran even more and more about this. But was there anything other than because you said you wanted what Elder Dragon to come in and then change your mind? Oh, a Frontier Elder Dragon.
Yeah, Frontier Elder Dragon, just kind of like change it up. But then like you mentioned Amatsu, I was like, oh yeah, shit, I totally forgot about that because they mentioned that they wanted I mean, the Amatsu would be perfect, I feel like, because it had some Frontier elements in it.
Yeah. Is there any Frontier Elder Dragon, like Frontier specific Elder Dragon, that you know about that you would want in the game that I could look at with my eyeballs right now?
Not in particular. I never played the game.
All right, cool, sick. I wasn't sure if you were like, maybe, hey, one of these. No, but there's a lot of like gnarly looking Elder Dragons in Frontier. Like, I'm looking at them right now, and they all have names.
Oh yeah, but I think that's a good place to stop.
Probably.
Yeah, we there's a lot of things we're looking forward to, a lot of things that we're gonna get into, and I'm really excited to see what we're gonna get for the next title update as well. But we're gonna get the title update 4 tonight, so
today,
yeah, so we got a lot to look forward to with that, and I can't wait for the day that I can finally dive into the anomaly grind, because I really do. I want to get into that grind.
Meh.
You just keep speedrunning World.
I will work on. Yeah, I will keep speedrunning. We're gonna get I'm gonna be speedrunning World until the next like big Monster Hunter game comes out again. I'm gonna be speedrunning World until the next Monster Hunter game comes out. Just plain and simple. God, I hope I like that one as much as I like World.
We'll see, but
hopefully.
You want to sign us off?
Cool. I mean, yeah, sure. I can do that. Me do that? Yeah, can do, Skoy. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening to Gamer Breakfast. If you're watching on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to your podcasts at, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us and to join us. Once again, congratulations, Skoy and Liz.
Thank you.
On your engagement.
Yeah.
And I look forward to you guys getting to spend more time together.
I have a fiance. That's weird,
right?
to
Isn't that weird to say?
Like, Liz was just like, when I was talking to people, it's like, yeah, my fiance. Whoa.
my girl fiance.
My girl say.
And thank you guys too for listening again. Let us know what you would find to be an exciting returning Elder Dragon for Title Update 5. Yeah. What Elder Dragon, Frontier, main series, spinoff, Ultura, would you like to see for Title Update 5?
Yes.
I want to see what other people's ideas are. I know we mentioned a bunch, but let us know how you're feeling and what you're wishing for. Until then, I've been Jalbagel. That's been SkojSkull.
Yeah, that's me. Oh, you did it right the first time. There you go.
There we go. Nailed it. That's been SkojSkull, and this has been Gamer Breakfast. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Oh, we should wait. Hold on.
What?
So first of all, not those words. Do we need to read comments? I feel like every time we're like, oh, we're gonna read comments next time, and then we never do.
Oh shit.
Did we read comments? Do we want to save that for next time?
We'll see. All right, promise. Next time, we'll read a shit ton of comments. We'll have like a 30-minute segment. Nothing happened to either of us. Jal, don't have any eventful stuff happening on your end.
Don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
Got it.
Because otherwise, it's going to be like an hour and a half long podcast.
Hell yeah. I mean, no, we don't want that. We will absolutely read comments next time.
Yes.
I love you. I love you all.
I love put us in your mouth.
No. We need a different catchphrase.
It's 2023.